The microwave has 28 seconds left, and your phone is already in your hand. No message came in. There's nothing you meant to check. 28 quiet seconds just feel weird now. We usually think the phone saves us from boredom, but what if filling every empty second is one reason the rest of life starts to feel so slow? Some things aren't boring. We leave before they have time to become interesting. In a few minutes, I'll give you a 10-minute test. It isn't a challenge, and you can't fail it. It simply lets you catch the exact moment your mind asks for more input. An ordinary day used to have dead air. Waiting for coffee, standing in line, sitting in your car for a minute before going inside. They weren't important moments. They were just unfilled. Now, almost every gap comes with an exit. At a restaurant, your friend gets up to use the bathroom. Before they're even gone, you unlock your phone. You open Netflix to relax, browse for 12 minutes, finally choose something, then check another screen during the first quiet scene. Sometimes a stupid video is exactly what you want after a long day. There's nothing wrong with that. The interesting part is how little choosing is involved. The second the stimulation drops, your thumb moves before a thought does. Repeat that often enough, and you start expecting everything to reward you immediately. Attention doesn't always work that way. Sometimes interest needs a minute to build. Researchers recently tested this with online video. Across 7 experiments involving more than 1,200 people, they found that people switched because they felt bored, and they expected switching would help. In several of the video experiments, it did the opposite. People who could jump between videos or skip around inside one ended up more bored, less satisfied, and less engaged than people who stayed with a single video. It didn't happen in every setup. With video, though, the pattern was familiar. One video gets 30 seconds to prove itself. The next gets 15. Soon, you're no longer comparing what you're watching with another actual video. You're comparing it with the possibility that the next one might be perfect. And the next one has an unfair advantage. It hasn't disappointed you yet. Getting absorbed in something takes a little time. A joke needs the setup. A song needs somewhere to go. Even a good conversation can be slow for a minute. Leave at the first dip, and you keep missing the part where your attention settles and the thing in front of you starts to work. None of this means you should finish every bad movie. Sometimes the show just sucks. Before you switch, ask yourself a better question. What kind of bored am I? Maybe the thing in front of you is too easy, and you need a real challenge. Maybe it's too hard, and you can't find a way in. Maybe you could focus perfectly well, but you simply don't care. Or maybe you're exhausted. Those situations don't need the same fix. A harder task won't help if you need sleep. Rest won't make pointless work meaningful, and if what you really want is company, another recommendation won't fix that. A phone flattens all of those feelings into one signal. Give me something new. New input buys a few seconds of relief. It doesn't tell you what was missing. So before you replace the moment, name the problem. When this video ends, pick 10 minutes when you don't need to drive, work, or take care of anyone. Sit somewhere comfortable, or take a slow walk on a familiar route. Put your phone out of reach, or leave it in your pocket on silent. No music, no podcast. For 10 minutes, don't add anything new. You don't need to meditate, control your breathing, or empty your mind. Let it be messy. At some point, you'll probably want to change the channel. You may reach for your phone, look for a snack, or suddenly remember a chore that apparently cannot wait. When the urge shows up, don't fight it. Notice what happened 1 second earlier. Did a thought appear? Did you become restless? Did something feel uncomfortable? Or did you move on simply out of habit? Nothing dramatic may happen. You might spend 10 minutes thinking about sandwiches. That still counts. When the time is up, write 2 lines. My mind kept returning to. What I actually wanted was. The second answer might be sleep, company, movement, a real challenge, or simply a better movie. Touching the phone doesn't ruin the test. Catching the moment before you touch it is the whole point. If the gap stays open, your mind will wander. It may plan dinner. It may replay an argument from 3 years ago and finally produce the perfect comeback right on schedule. An undemanding break can sometimes help people return to an old problem with a new idea. Even when it doesn't, quiet gives unfinished thoughts a chance to reappear. The email you forgot, a person you miss, the realization that you're exhausted and don't actually want another episode. You want to go to bed. The screen doesn't remove any of that. It delays the moment you notice it. One thing, though, If nearly everything has felt flat for weeks, especially with persistent low mood or major changes in sleep or appetite, don't blame it on your phone. Talk to a qualified professional. 10 minutes once won't rebuild your attention span. It doesn't need to. Protect one gap each day. Drink the first few minutes of your coffee without opening anything. Walk from the parking lot without automatically starting a podcast. Let the shower be a shower. Then, when you choose entertainment, choose it on purpose. Put the phone out of reach for one scene. Listen to the whole song before deciding you need a different one. Give one video a few uninterrupted minutes before you switch. If it's still bad, leave. You're allowed to dislike things. Bad content doesn't need to become homework. You're separating two different conclusions. This is boring. I left before it had a chance. That difference exists away from screens too. A hobby is awkward before it becomes absorbing. A new conversation can be slow before it starts to feel real. A difficult idea may be frustrating before it makes sense. Some parts of life need a little patience before they give anything back. And lately, the first minute is the minute we keep taking away from them. So when this video ends, take the 10 minutes. Then come back and leave one word in the comments. Whatever your mind kept returning to. No explanation. And tomorrow, when the microwave has 28 seconds left, leave the phone where it is. See what happens before the beep. The goal is simple. Stop leaving every moment before you find out what it could have become.